Huggy's cousin was a Birmingham mobster who was feared across the country. His name? Mohammed Suleiman Khan, better known as the General, Big Sully, or simply Don. While Huggy ruled the streets of Bradford, his cousin, Mohammed Suleiman Khan, was building an empire of his own in Birmingham. Unlike Huggy, who controlled the local drug trade, Sully's connections ran far deeper. He imported drugs on a major scale. He was involved in extortion of businesses, particularly in the Ladypool Road area of Birmingham, and he had heavy connections, not just in the UK, but across the country and overseas. Sully wasn't just a street-level gangster. He was a man who operated from the shadows. But his name wasn't just linked to drugs and extortion. His name was also whispered in connection to one of the most brutal unsolved murders in Birmingham's history. July 29, 2004, inside Chic Physique Gym, in the Spark Hill area of Birmingham, a man named Azmat Yaqub, also known as Tony Azmat, was working out. Tony was a well-known figure in the area, a man with connections, enemies, and a reputation. That night, as he took a breather from his weightlifting session, 2 men entered the gym. These weren't just random criminals. They were hitmen. One of them carried a machine gun. Without hesitation, they opened fire on Tony. Gunshots echoed through the gym as bullets ripped through his body, shot in the head and shot in the chest. Tony collapsed on the gym floor, lifeless. The killers didn't stop to check. They simply turned around and walked out. Outside, a BMW 5 Series with Dutch plates was waiting. The 2 men jumped inside and vanished into the night. The murder was swift, precise, and professional. The police launched a major investigation. Witnesses describe one gunman as a white male wearing sunglasses with a thin line of hair running down his chin. The second man was a black male with a thin beard wearing glasses and a baseball cap. Despite releasing sketches of both suspects, the killers were never found. The murder remains unsolved to this day. But on the streets, there were whispers. Word spread that this was no random attack. This was an assassination. And the man behind it? Mohammed Suleiman Khan, the General. According to street rumors, Sully and Tony had a serious feud. It was said that Sully hired 2 Dutch hitmen to take out Tony. But there was a problem. When the police investigated Sully, they found one major issue with the theory. At the time of Tony Azmat's murder, Sully was in Pakistan. With no physical evidence linking him to the crime, he was brought in for questioning but never charged. The case went cold. But Sully's criminal activities were far from over. For years, Sully managed to stay off the radar. Even in criminal circles, he was rarely seen in public. But in 2014, his empire finally started to crumble. This time, it wasn't for drugs or extortion. It was for fraud. Authorities discovered that Sully had been defrauding the UK tax system, scamming £450,000. When police raided his gated mansion in Moseley, they made a shocking discovery. Inside, they found plans for a £2.3 million palace with a library, a cinema, servant quarters, underground parking, and guard rooms. Sully told authorities that he was just a simple debt collector, earning £40,000 a year. But the evidence told a different story. In reality, he was making at least £300,000 from crime. The court sentenced him to 4 years in prison. But his troubles were far from over. In 2016, while still serving time, Sully was hit with a £2.2 million confiscation order. The authorities wanted every penny back. But Sully refused to pay. As a result, his sentence was increased by 10 years. Yet, 5 years later, he was a free man, having served half of his default sentence. But there was one problem. Even after being released, Sully still owed millions. As of 2024, the amount had grown to £3.7 million, with £1.5 million in interest alone. And guess how much he's paid back? Just £1,700. Even after prison, even after investigations, Sully remains an elusive figure. His current whereabouts? Unknown.